So I recently read Common Goal by Rachel Reed. It is the fourth book in the Game Changer series, and a lot of people were saying that it's the worst book in the series, and I was initially skeptical of that because a lot of people said the same thing about Tough Guy, and I really love Tough Guy, so I was like, oh, y'all are just blowing this out of proportion. It can't be that bad. And while I do stand by that, while I do stand by that the hate for it is kind of blown out of proportion, I will say that yes, I do agree that it is my least favorite of the series so far. It's not because it was unenjoyable. It really, really wasn't. I love the New York scene. I love Game Changer, so being back with that group of characters was very fun for me, and I liked following Kyle and Eric and their love story and all of that stuff. And I like the spice scenes. I really, really did. Especially because I'm historically not into the type of stuff that goes on in the spice scenes that happen here. But the Common Goal spice scenes finally made me realize why people like those certain activities and certain dynamics of the dominant and the sub, whatever, all that kind of stuff. But I will say I do have some problems with it. First of all, just small problem. Scott and Kip. I listen, I love them. Give them something meaningful to do besides just making hard eyes at each other every 2 seconds. Please, just give them some character in this book. But more so, my issue with Common Goal is it's very interestingly plotted. It is. When Kyle and Eric get into their dynamic with each other, their arrangement, let's put it like that, their arrangement with each other, the book just kind of feels like it grinds to a halt in terms of plot development and character arcs at that point, and it just kind of spins its wheels for the next 50% of the book. How Reed went about the third act breakup was very, very weird, because here's the thing: the normal romance um formula for the third act breakup is the couple breaks up, then they have a self-reflection moment with their friend where they're like, oh, this is why we can't be together, and the friend's like, okay, but that's ridiculous, and then the person is like, okay, well, I guess we can be together, blah blah blah, and then they get back together in the end. That's the usual romance formula for the third act breakup. In this one, she went about it weirdly, where she had Eric and Scott have a little self-reflection moment, but not really, because even though we try to talk about and get Eric to overcome his whole thing about the age gap, it still doesn't do anything, and he's still weird about it afterwards. And then we break up because we've already done the quote unquote self-reflection mark of the book. Now we just have to skip several months and immediately get them back together. We don't have any